Welcome to Easy Stories in English, the podcast that will take your English from okay to good and from good to great. I am Ariel Goodbody, your host for this show. Today's story is for beginners. The name of the story is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. I'll just explain some words that are in today's story. A wolf, W-O-L-F, is a big animal like a dog. But wolves are much more dangerous than dogs. They live in groups called packs. Wolves like to sit under the moon and howl. They go, "Ooh!" Ooh, that was a good wolf howl. A shepherd, S-H-E-P-H-E-R-D, is a person who looks after sheep. Shepherds often use dogs to help them move sheep. Shepherds carry big sticks and walk a lot with the sheep, moving from one place to another. They have to keep the sheep safe from wolves. A hunter, H-U-N-T-E-R, is a person who hunts, someone who chases and kills animals. In the past, hunters rode on horses and used bows and arrows to kill animals. Now, hunters usually walk and use guns to shoot animals. But these days, people hunt for fun. In the past, people hunted for food. When you want to hurt someone, you might fight, F-I-G-H-T them, and the past tense is fought, F-O-U-G-H-T. You might fight them with a weapon, like a sword or a gun, or you can just use your hands. You might even fight them with words, an argument. Children sometimes throw food at each other, a food fight. A war is basically a big fight. Stupid, S-T-U-P-I-D, means not intelligent, not clever. It is not nice to call someone stupid. Sometimes we call ourselves stupid because we can't do something easy. But of course, nobody listening to this podcast is stupid. You are all very clever. When you annoy, A-N-N-O-Y, someone, you say or do things to make them angry. You bother them. Children often like to annoy their parents. For example, they might say, "Mom, Mom, Mom, talk to me, play with me." Children often annoy each other as well. For example, they hit each other or steal things from each other. Shut up, S-H-U-T-U-P, means to stop talking. It is usually used as an insult. If someone is being loud and annoying you, you might say, "Shut up." It is not very nice to do this, but children often tell each other to shut up. When you are in a place that you don't want to be, you might run away. R-U-N-A-W-A-Y. Run to another place. For example, if your mother is very angry at you, you could run away, but she might run after you. If you see a wolf or a bear, you should probably run away. When you lie, L-I-E, you say something that isn't true. For example, if I tell you, "Hi, I'm Queen Elizabeth," that's a lie because it's not true. I am not Queen Elizabeth. Children often lie when they don't want their parents to get angry at them. Sometimes people lie because it is very hard to say the truth. When you are looking at one thing and you want to look behind you, you turn around. T-U-R-N-A-R-O-U-N-D. You turn your body to face the other way. In horror films like The Ring, you often see something behind the character in the film. You scream, "Turn around! Turn around!" But when the character turns around, it's too late. The monster gets them. Ah! Okay, so listen and enjoy. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Once there was a young boy called Lyman. He worked in the field and looked after the sheep. He was a shepherd. His father was a shepherd, and his grandfather was a shepherd, and his grandfather's father was a shepherd. Everyone told Lyman, "One day you will be a great shepherd." But Lyman didn't want to be a shepherd. He wanted to be a hunter. Hunters fought wolves, and they were big and strong. Shepherds weren't big and strong. Every day, Lyman stood in the field and looked after the sheep. It was very boring, and he had nobody to talk to. But then, George started coming to the field. Lyman hated George. He thought he was stupid. George's family had a lot of money, and he didn't have to work, and he loved to annoy Lyman. "Oh, look, it's Lyman," said George. "Stupid Lyman with his stupid sheep. Are you going to get married to a sheep, Lyman? Then all your children will be sheep, and you can look after them too." "Shut up, George." But George did not shut up. George called Lyman stupid every day and ran after the sheep so that the sheep were afraid of him. So one day, when George came to the field, Lyman said, "Look, there's a wolf! Wolf! Wolf!" George screamed, "Ah!" and ran to the town. He told everyone that there was a wolf in the field. All the hunters in the town came to the field. "Where is the wolf, Lyman?" they cried. "Ah, he ran away," said Lyman. "But there was a wolf here, oh yes." The next day, George came to the field again to annoy Lyman. So again, Lyman shouted, "Wolf! Wolf! There's another wolf!" George ran to the town and told the hunters, and again they came. "Another wolf?" they said. "Where is it?" "Oh, it just ran away," said Lyman. "But it was horrible. Oh, it was a really big one, bigger than the one yesterday." Said the hunters. "Lyman, are you lying? You know, very bad things happen to boys who lie." "Me? Lying? No way. There really was a wolf." George didn't come to the field for a week after that. But then he came again, saying, "There you are, Lyman. You need me here. The wolf will come and eat you if I'm not here." "Shut up, I don't need you," said Lyman. But actually, he was happy to see George. When he didn't come to the field, he had nobody to talk to. George was stupid, but he was Lyman's friend. But George soon started annoying Lyman again. He said that he was stupid like a sheep, and that he had a face like a sheep, and that the sheep knew more than him. So again, Lyman cried, "Oh no, George, there's a wolf! Wolf! Wolf!" "I don't believe you," said George. Then he screamed, "Ah!" and ran away. "Funny," said Lyman. "If he didn't believe me, why did he run away?" Then Lyman saw why. He heard a pant, pant, and he turned around. There, in the field, was a big, strong wolf. Lyman screamed, "Ah! A wolf! A wolf! It's a real wolf this time! Please come and help!" The wolf started eating sheep. Lyman ran away into the forest. George ran into town and cried, "There's a wolf! A real wolf!" But the hunters didn't believe him. "George," they said, "Lyman lied to you again. There are no wolves. He just wanted you to leave." "No, this time it wasn't a lie. There really is a wolf. I saw it with my own eyes." But still, the hunters didn't believe him. Please come. The wolf is going to eat Lyman. Fine, fine, said one of the hunters. I'll go with him. This hunter was called Tristan. George didn't like him. He drank a lot and called Lyman a bad boy. George wanted to run to the field, but Tristan walked very slowly. I think you're lying, George, he said. I think Lyman told you to lie. He's a bad boy, and he wants you to be bad as well. I'm not lying. When they got there, there was no wolf and no Lyman, but there were lots of dead sheep. See? Said George. I told you there was a wolf. He went into the forest, said the hunter. So they ran into the forest to find the wolf and Lyman, but they only found the wolf. He was very fat and happy, and he was sleeping by a tree. Turn around, said the hunter quietly. You don't want to see this. George turned around. He didn't see what the hunter did, but he heard it. It sounded horrible. George started crying. George, said the hunter, you did very well. Thank you for telling us about the wolf. You're a good boy. But now I have to ask you something. What? Said George. I want to go home. We will go home soon. When we get back, we'll tell them that we heard Lyman. We ran as fast as we could. I fought the wolf, but he was too strong, and he ate Lyman. But that's a lie. It's not a lie, said Tristan. If we tell Lyman's mother what happened, she'll be so sad. She'll cry and cry. Do you want her to cry? No, said George. So we'll tell her that I fought the wolf and he was too strong. Okay? Okay. So George and the hunter went back into town. They told Tristan's story. They lied. Lyman's mother cried, but she said, Oh, Tristan, you did everything you could. Thank you. After that day, George never went back to the field again, but he did lie many times in his life. The end.